राम ओम श्री राम जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम ओम श्री राम जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय राम ओम श्री राम जय 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 राम ओम श्री राम जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय राम ओम श्री राम जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय राम ओम श्री राम जय राम ओम श्री राम जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम श्री राम जय राम श्री राम जय राम श्री राम
Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om 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 Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram
Pranam Swamiji.
Pranam to everybody. Pranam to everybody. Yesterday we were sharing some thoughts about, based on the New Year message, which is again an extract of Papa's teachings. In the early stages of our spiritual journey, we are largely guided by evolved souls and through them introduced to the Shastras. This is our personal experience.
No, it was off.
In the early stages of our spiritual journey, we are largely guided by evolved souls and through them introduced to the Shastras. Gradually we form concepts about spirituality, sadhana, and the path ahead. However, along the way, external pressures, failures, disappointments, inner struggles often slow our progress and sometimes even shake our faith in what once felt noble and certain. At such times, the uplifting company of evolved souls once again rekindles our inspirations and helps us move forward. As the journey resumes and gains momentum, a subtle realization dawns upon us. The guidance we have received from others, though invaluable, carries us only up to a certain point. Beyond that, confusion, uncertainty, lack of clarity, diminished confidence begin to surface. It is then often unexpectedly that we encounter a reminder from the wise that each seeker must discover a path aligned with one's own nature. From that moment onwards, our steps gradually become original, inwardly guided, and self sustaining. This insight, born of our own experience and echoed in the wisdom of the evolved, finds clear affirmation in this year's New Year message. We can get confirmation from our own lives. This is a reflection of our own life. And then when we look at the master's life, there also we find especially in our case, whether it is Param Puja Papa or Param Puja Mataji, and later on Param Puja Swamiji. Papa did not tell him. He said, you chant. And if you get doubt, that means you have not chanted properly. That means, he is motivating him, prompting him to go within and find out an answer. And we also know, we have been following, we have been we are having faith in the words of our Master. And we are trying to follow in whatever way is possible. But still the core of our being remains untouched. Or if at all, it doesn't sustain. The me and mind takes over us. So here Papa's words are very, 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 very relevant. Each one's spiritual journey should be according to its own inner nature. In the life of adult spiritual aspirant, in the life of the adult spiritual aspirant, the best discipline for his advancement and ultimate realization is the self-imposed discipline. Here, imitation and abject implicit obedience to the law set by anyone, however highly evolved he may be, will, instead of bringing into being an illumined individual, only produce a human robot without initiative, all its inner powers and beauty unexpressed and unrevealed. Up to some stage it is all necessary, no doubt. He is clarifying it. The keen aspiration for attaining the highest truth must be there. Contact with the divinely illumined personality must also be there. But the unfoldment of the hidden divine life and truth in the sadhaka must take place according to the nature and qualities of his inner and outer life and being. Now only we realize why we are not, why we got stuck somewhere. Decades of sadhana we are all doing, We may feel that we are progressing. There may be progress, no doubt. But we are talking about the touching the core of our being. That means the elimination of not elimination. Elimination is not possible. To subdue the influence of me and mine. So there the individual initiative. Once again we will read very powerful words of Papa. Because this is addressed to sadhakas, The sadhana is discipline self-imposed. He defines sadhana, not somebody says and we are doing. That is not sadhana. Sadhana is discipline self-imposed. So initially we need some guidance. There should be discipline in the life of every individual in order to achieve either moral or spiritual development. In the case of children and young folk, in teens, discipline from outside does help a great deal in their adjustment of life to the environment and generally with the world. But even in their case, a pedagogic enforcement of rules and regulations without rightly studying and understanding their nature, instead of becoming a help, suppresses and distorts the natural growth and evolution. When we were having interaction with the students, we always share anecdotes. One anecdote wells up in our mind. A new teacher, after taking over after getting the appointment, he goes to the class for the first time. So everybody was doing something, suddenly everybody got, and they were all looking at the new teacher and mockingly, they were showing some signs. The teacher, without losing his coolness, sat. He said, I am so and so. I have joined. I have come here to take your class. Acha, when I came here, you were all doing something and you stopped. What was that? Everybody kept quiet. Come on. Then one boy reluctantly got up and he has made a sketch of this teacher. Everybody thought he would be punished, he would be taken to task. The teacher took it, oh, very good. Meet me before you go from the school. Again, people thought it might be for some punishment, But when the boy went there, the teacher embraced him and told him, you are gifted with a wonderful capacity to do in artwork. I will give you a book. Please go through that, study it, simultaneously develop this art. Nobody will get it easily. In your case, at this tender age, you have got this wonderful. And the boy was stunned. He thought he would be taken to task, but instead of that, he encouraged him. And that boy became a famous artist. That means the teacher was able to see the unique trait in that boy. Instead of his imposing, a true teacher is he who is in a position to identify that which is predominant in a child and try to encourage him. Many, many incidents. And he became a famous artist. And he said, I owe everything to the teacher on the first day. I went there thinking that he is going to give me half a dozen beatings, but no. Because I had put the caricature in such a way that everybody will laugh at it. But the teacher did not look at the caricature. He looked at the art, and he helped him to go further, and he became. So that. But even in their case, a pedagogic enforcement of rules and regulations without rightly studying and understanding their nature, that's why we remembered, instead of becoming a help, suppresses and distorts the natural growth and evolution. In the case of adults, the outside help consists in awakening the individual life, and by hints and suggestions enable him or her to find out for himself or herself the method and conduct of life by adopting which he or she can attain moral or spiritual perfection. Papa always used these complex sentences, so by the time you come back to the later part, you would have forgotten. So we will read it again. In the case of adults, the outside help consists Shastras, gurus, evolved souls at different levels, not necessarily with this dress. So, in the case of adults, the outside help consists in awakening the individual to a moral or spiritual life. Awaken. Papa used to say, Guru is the awakener. And by hints and suggestions, enable him or her to find out for himself or herself the method and conduct of life by adopting which he or she can attain moral or spiritual perfection. Cut and dry rules applicable for all individuals and dominating insistence of a so-called higher authority on the individual for casting him into a new mold, as it were, for producing a Superman, is not at all the way. Cut and dry rules applicable for all individuals. General prescription, no. That is why they are insisting for test. Because each one is unique. Only the test will prove, the test will show the light of what his characteristics are. So cut and dry rules applicable for all individuals and dominating insistence of a so-called higher authority on the individual for casting him into a new mold, as it were, for producing a Superman, is not at all the way. The life of the individual must grow like a bud into a flower and the flower into a fruit. No external this thing, Bud formation is a natural step, and then after the required days, it opens up, flowers. We can't force it. As we provide the necessary conditions and environments for the growth and fruition of the bud into the fruit, so also is it with life. In the life of the adult spiritual aspirant, the best discipline for his advancement and ultimate realization is the self-imposed discipline. Here, imitation and abject implicit obedience to the law set by anyone, however highly evolved he may be, will, instead of bringing into being an illumined individual, only produce a human robot without initiative. All its inner powers and beauty unexpressed, unrevealed. The keen aspiration for attaining the highest truth must be there. Contact with the divinely illumined personality must also be there. But the unfoldment of the hidden divine life and truth in the sadhaka must take place according to the nature and qualities of his inner and outer life and being. We know that we cannot hasten the ripening of a raw fruit, and if we by any process cause it to ripen artificially and prematurely, the taste of the fruit will never be the same as the one which has ripened in the natural course. Saints are therefore called the awakeners, whose grace works on the sadhaka like the sunlight on the lotus bud, which blossoms into a fragrant and beautiful flower. Unless the ego sense disappears, the divine life in us can never reveal itself in all its glory. Unless the ego sense disappears, the divine life in us can never reveal itself in all its glory. Be like a child. And power, charm, and sweetness of the divine will radiate through you like the luster of a gem. God should possess you, not in any one part of your being, but in every atom, gross, subtle, of your entire physical, mental, vital being. You will become now a very image of a supernatural essence made up of infinite love, power, and joy. You behold all beings, creatures, and things in the world as your own reflections. Nay, yourself manifest as all those forms, as though you are looking at yourself in a mirror. This consciousness of divine unity and oneness of all existence is the summum bonum of a real divinized life which has attained the zenith of spiritual perfection. Now coming back to our sadhana, no? Let us all do some deep thinking when Papa chose to talk to us now on this train. So we are doing Ramnam. Certain people, we cannot say that this is the method. So somebody may be deriving something by loudly vocal chanting. Somebody may be deriving it mental silent chanting, mental chanting. Somebody may be thinking and then starting the nama chanting. Somebody may chant, stop, and then contemplate. Suddenly now he has given us a freedom now. And he has placed before us his own experience. So now we get the clue that we have to try and see that which is suiting to our nature. Luckily, all of us have accepted Ram chanting. There is no question about it. Now, each one will ask for himself or herself how to trigger this. I want to have a touch to the core of my being, to feel, in other words, to feel that he is making me to chant. to feel the existence of that subtle and mysterious power in me. I have been trying to follow what has been told. Of course, I would not have observed in letter and spirit because of the various limitations I have. But now I will try to understand what is, how transcending all what I have heard. I will try to concentrate upon a method that is okay for me. Somebody can sit and do it, somebody cannot sit and do it. So now from today onwards, at least let's try to keep on bringing the dimension in our mind. The guidance is remembering him through chanting. How that remembrance each one has to. Most of us, we enjoy at the time of chanting. But whether the feeling is there, each one only knows. After the chanting, immediately when we are reacting to events and individuals, is there any change in our attitude? Change will not come just like that, but we have been observing whether it has been taking shape, whether the me and mine is getting reduced, its dominance over me, whether it is helping me to go towards my core of my being. He says, steadily we have to practice concentration of thought on God until we feel His nearness, until we become aware of His presence, until we have the vision of Him everywhere about us, until we realize our oneness with Him. 1, 2, 3, 4 stages. So how we should do that, each one has to. Let us be earnest in employing all the resources of our being to advance toward the supreme goal. May our thoughts, words and deeds have a background of divine consciousness. It is to be remembered that unless we link our life with the divine author of our being, our life is in vain. Steadily we have to practice concentration of thought on God until we feel His nearness. When we chant, we are chanting the name of one who is within and who has given me the name, who has facilitated me to take the mantra, who has given me the power to chant, who has made me aware of the sound that comes from the soundless substratum. Like that, whatever we feel like. So until we feel His nearness, the next stage, then we cannot stop until we become aware of His presence. Sanidhyam, Samipyam. And again, until we have the vision of Him everywhere about us, Vyapakam. And then finally, until we realize our oneness with Him, Ekatvam. So here, what is to be employed, it should be in line with our nature. The Guru says, Samipyam, Sanidhyam, Vyapakam, Ekatvam, these 4 stages. So how to approach? We have to, because the vehicle we have is unique. And God expects us to express it in a unique way. God expects us to express it in a unique way. Tomorrow I think we'll have, yes, tomorrow. We'll take up Chidanandaji. You are unique in it. Is very, very clear. God expects us to reveal it in a unique way. So far we have been thinking, like the common way. No. God expects us to reveal this in a unique way. Now we know the reason, no? Why? Somewhere we have kept it here. I don't know where. We have kept it somewhere. No. Half an hour. You can get it. Ponder the truth. A very important aspect in our sadhaka. As sadhakas, we all these things will help us. You are unique in the eyes of God. That's what He opens up like that. Because that will make us know, that will remind us and say what you have been doing, you check up whether it is in line with or you are following somebody's. It is right from their angle, but to you it may not suit. Initially, as you get enthused, then you cannot hold on to it. When we sit before the saint, we get enthused. But when we go after some time, no. Then we try to understand. At that time, it was so much clear to me that why I am not in a position to hold on to it. We need not blame ourselves because the equipment, the equipment we have is unique. So it has to undergo a process which is okay for us. You are unique in the eyes of God. Each one is distinct and unique in the eyes of the Creator. There is none like that particular being. There is no second. So each one is precious and specially valuable to the Creator. Very inspiring article, actually. Very inspiring article. So each one is precious and specially valuable to the Creator. In the eyes of God, therefore, each one is something special. This should always be remembered. No one can replace you in the role that you fulfill in God's creation at any given place and at any given point in time. You are most necessary and indispensable for that particular setup in that particular time-space context. Therefore, rejoice and be grateful to the Lord that He has given you a role to perform. Whether you perform your role perfectly and in a meaningful manner or not is irrelevant, because God expects each one to do what one is capable of at any point, at any time. God does not expect an ant to haul a great timber, elephant does in the forest. Nor does God expect the elephant to fly in the air as do swallows or doves. He expects birds to fly. He loves them for what they do. He expects elephants to fulfill their role, giving dignity to the forest and doing incredible jobs of strength. And he expects man to live as a man. And each one in his own place, in his own sphere, can fulfill a task and gladden the heart of the Maker and contribute something to his plan on earth. His plan on earth. And this is the truth. And to be aware of the truth is to be worry-free, anxiety-free. To be aware of the truth is to be grateful to God. You have made me unique. You have given me a role. You have prompted me and brought to me all helpful factors to fulfill my role and play my part. For that, I ever give thanks. No one is dispensable. No one is useless. No one is lesser in the eyes of God or in the eyes of those who try to avoid human judgment and human standards of criticism, who accept God's creation as it is because God created it. For them, whatever God thought fit to make in any manner whatsoever is perfect. There is nothing wrong in it and it is acceptable. For them, whatever emanates from God partakes of His divinity and perfection, and therefore, in God's own plan and in God's own way, is fully complete. Lot of contemplation, reflection is necessary, so that this will help us to accept the world as they are. In this way, if we accept this truth that to God we are unique, and so we are all to those who are trying to look at with the impartiality of God's vision, and then in the presence of God and of those who are devotees of God, we must feel at home. We have arrived. We may no longer feel distrust in heart. One should rejoice in the serene calmness of spirit. I have arrived. I am at home. I am in the presence of God. I am totally accepted. I am totally accepted. Things are as they should be. The Lord is in the heaven and all is well on earth. This is the faith, the firm belief of those who have faith in the infinite love of God, who have trust in the infinite goodness of God, and who are sure that in God's heart they have a special and unique place. each one of us. This is ever kept reserved for them. And no one can take it away from them. Because God's infinite heart is large enough to hold the entire cosmos and everything within it. Thus, knowing we should have great comfort in our heart, great satisfaction, contentment. And that is the secret of inner joy, the key to blessedness, and the pathway to peace, serenity, and inner calm, where there is no fretting, agitation, or restlessness. The peace of God pervades the entire earth. The peace of God pervades everywhere, without, within. The peace of God is the one great truth underlying all things, ever present, ever accessible and available, ever full, inexhaustible. Try to live in the light of this truth, and the heart and mind will be at peace. Never compare and contrast. Because there is no comparing and contrasting amongst unique things. Very difficult to accept, no? Mind is trained to compare and contrast. Never compare and contrast, because there is no comparing and contrasting among the unique things. Every little fledgling hatched from an egg is unique to its parents. So is each being unique in itself, for God is the parent of all. Hence sages and saints and men of wisdom look upon all with equal wisdom. Sthitaprajna. Therefore, rejoice that you are special to God in His infinite love. Rejoice that you have your own special place and role to perform in the creation of God. Rejoice that His love is immediately available to you, for He is not a remote reality, but He is the indwelling reality, nearer to you than anything else on the earth. Gandhi used to say, more closer than the nail. And rejoice that within you is the peace of God as your own self. You are God's peace, P-A-C. And you have a duty to perform, that is to spread this peace which you are to one and all. Live to spread this peace. Very assuring, Suppose the morale is sagging and we find something to inject. Best article. You are unique in the eyes of God. A deep contemplation will reveal to us the areas where we have to improve. In one go it may be difficult, but we will try. So this year's New Year message again directs us to this vital aspect. Unique. So we now turn within and pray. Though we have heard all these things, we have not taken it seriously. And now that you are emphasizing that ultimately it has to be in line with my uniqueness because I am unique, which fact I did not know. But in during Vyavaharic dealings, you are making us aware. Now we understand. If the uniqueness is not there, first to 10th standard is enough. By the time we reach our 10th standard, we know our taste, temperament, aptitude. Nowadays, of course, we don't have to reach 10. But normally, when we were all students, up to 10th, we did not have any idea. We study what the teacher says. But by the time, you get an idea. I want to become this, I want to become that, I want to become this, I want to become that. So varieties of professionals, Depending on, if the parents insist that you should take up, it is wrong. They should ask, which is your line? By the time the child grows, he must have definitely, the uniqueness in him will definitely give him an idea where he is comfortable. Doctor, lawyer, scientist, agriculturist, planter, electrical engineering, computer engineering, so many, mechanical engineering, teaching profession. Uniqueness, just imagine. And when the uniqueness is encouraged, it blossoms. Think about it. So even in the outside activities, this uniqueness is accepted by us, though we may not know bring the word uniqueness. We remember our father telling us, when we were studying, every 3 months there will be quarterly test and there will be a progress card. And if you don't cross 35, it will be a red mark. And we have to get the signature from the father. Very strict. So when we go there, father will not look at the marks. He will sign. So when we asked, why are you not looking and asking us, have you done your part? Somebody putting the mark is not. Do you feel you have studied well? Do you think that something else is needed? We remember, he was a teacher also. He says marks are given based upon some action, based upon the value or that is, you apply for revaluation, no? When you are so confident that you have done well and if you don't get the mark aspired, you ask for revaluation. That means what? And we have seen in our childhood days, unlike this present day evaluation, SSLC papers will be sent to teachers' homes. So our neighbors were also teachers. Father was a teacher. So in March, April, they will get by post answer paper. And they will be doing this at home. Suppose we go there playing, he will say, don't disturb me. So I asked, why I have to do some valuation. Then we come and ask father, what is this valuation? Then he said, when they apply on good old days, limited students, So nobody knows. Only that particular office people will know. And there won't be any name of the, student or the school. The teacher will be totally unaware of anything. Only he has seen it is before him the answer paper. And he has to be guided. Otherwise, nothing should influence him. This is what they meant. And so they are very strict. But even then, suppose we irritate him when he was doing it, that irritation will be reflected in his evaluation, So father used to say, I am not guided by the valuation of others. You check up whether you have done well or not. If you have not done well, you will fail, you will improve. And if you don't improve, you get stuck. Think about it. He was not at all in favor of arranging for any tuition. If the tuition means you are again depending upon somebody else, leaning, that is not correct. You have to work out yourself and bring out your efficiency. All those things we remember now, how practical on those days they were. In one of the articles we have read, a true teacher is he who comes down to the level of the student, not sitting from his position he values. Then only he will be able to do the proper evaluation. If he is guided, here now, central evaluation scheme, of course, we cannot help it. Student population is something more than 20 crores or 30 crores now. So they can't do it. So what do they do now? A place will be selected. All the teachers who are going to value, they will be in one central place. And it will be, that particular moment, it will be distributed, answer paper. And they have to sit there and do it. They cannot take it home. Nothing will be there. To avoid corruption or any sort of, anomaly there. But even with this pressure they are also a human being, They may overlook a brilliant answer. So this limited uniqueness is forgotten, and uniqueness is accepted even from time immemorial. That is why different in the very varied manifestations are coming in everywhere, whether it is a food item or a dress item or a medicine item, anything, Uniqueness. Kindly ponder over. It's a very important point for us. Because as a devotee, as a sadhaka, we find at times, we are somewhere the vehicle got stopped, not moving at all. Our ultimate aim is, now in this Chidanandaji's, the first para is again, each one is distinct and unique in the eyes of the Creator. The key to blessedness lies in being aware of blessedness. The key to blessedness lies in being aware of blessedness. If your awareness is turned in different directions towards what you do not have or what you think or imagine you do not have, then this wrongly directed pattern of thought will make you unaware of the many things that you have. Each one is distinct and unique in the eyes of the Creator. There is none like that particular being. There is no second. So each one is precious and specially valuable to the Creator. In the eyes of God, therefore, each one is something special. This should always be remembered. No one can replace you in the role that you fulfill in God's creation at any given place and at any given point in time. You are most necessary and indispensable for that particular setup in that particular time-space context, and therefore rejoice and be grateful to the Lord that He has given you a role to perform. God expects each one to do what one is capable of, at any point, at any time. No one is indispensable, no one is useless. No one is lesser in the eyes of God or in the eyes of those who try to avoid human judgment and human standards of criticism, who accept God's creation as it is because God created it. See, loving all, when Papa said, the ideal of the ashram is universal love and service based upon the vision of divinity in all. Some of us probably would not have had the clarity. This will throw some light. Divinity means it is God's hand that has brought everybody, So the moment they recognize God's hand, everybody is equal. You cannot but love, you cannot but serve. Papa. Beautiful. God created it. For them, whatever God thought fit to make in any manner whatsoever is perfect. There is nothing wrong. For them, whatever emanates from God partakes of His divinity and perfection. Therefore, in God's own plan and in God's own way is fully complete. Thus, knowing we should have great comfort in our heart, great satisfaction and contentment, and that is the secret of inner joy, the key to blessedness, and the pathway to peace, serenity, inner calm, where there is no fretting, agitation, or restlessness. A good food for our thought. Please try to ponder, reflect, contemplate. Try to go deep in this aspect. It will definitely give us throw some light, and it will help us in our sadhana. You are unique, and God expects us to bring out the expression which is unique. We were trying to copy, somebody. We were trying to imitate. We were trying to follow. No. He has been facilitating us. And now choose. Please think over. Hari Om. Om Shri Ram. Jai Ram. Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram. Jai Ram. Jai Ram. Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram, Jai Ram.